Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Inner Sanctum's YouTube channel. And today we have our State Shield preview for New South Wales. The link to the Victorian State Shield preview will be in the description below. And joining us from New South Wales is Bianca Scalone. Bianca, how are you today?
I'm pretty good. I'm excited to be here chatting pre-state.
And we are definitely excited to have you here. Now, you're playing for the New South Wales Blue Tongues this year. What's it going to be like playing for the quote-unquote the A team of the state?
It's really exciting. You get the opportunity not only to push yourself, but to work with so many other talented people. It's like there's no bad players. Everyone is just so talented, so cohesive, and it's been amazing just learning from everyone and developing more.
As you said, there's no bad players. You get to play with a lot of players, especially a lot of the team has just come back from Ireland, having played with the Drop Bears. What's it like getting to play with, that group of players who have gone on beyond this level of representative Quidditch to play for their country?
Everything just works so smoothly. Like you have a play and you know that play will work out because you don't have the worries of, will that person be where they're meant to be? Or will this simple pass be fumbled? Because you just know everyone's at such a high level. 99% of the time it's going to go to plan.
There has been, and I'm glad you mentioned that going to plan thing, because there has been a change to the rule book. And for those who are unaware, it's two-handed tackling has been introduced for State Shield. I believe it's the only competition that's going to use two-handed tackling for this calendar year, and will be introduced fully in 2023. What has it been like adapting to the introduction of two-handed tackling?
Personally, I love it. I feel like for my build, it's going to be a real strength. And especially for a lot of the people in the game who feel like they may not be able to have taken down someone bigger than them with one arm. With that second arm, not only does it provide the safety for the person you're tackling, but you get that grip and you're able to make such more of a difference. It's really exciting.
In training, who's been the hardest person for you to take down with that two-handed tackle?
Oh, I'm not quite sure for me because I only really practiced with a couple of people, but it was really interesting seeing people that you previously thought of as not going down, like your Maxes, your Brandons, your Garys, getting someone two-hand tackle them and seeing those people, okay, they can be stopped.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be good. And I'm obviously of a taller build, but the upper body strength is something I've always lacked, and so being able to add that facet to my game next year, I'm hoping will help me personally. Is there any sort of player, like, in your eyes on your team that we should be keeping an eye on?
I think everyone has really come into each of our trainings and pushed themselves really hard. We had two-handed tackle trainings with specialist help from Specker. We had like camps in rain, and everyone just proved themselves. So I think every single player on this team needs to be watched.
Having the two teams split, but you guys are working together in trainings. What's it like coming? And I could be wrong in my assumption here. I'm assuming that in the trainings, it's the two teams split where you guys, have your scrimmage matches against each other. What's it been like going up against the other team, the Blue Bottles?
I think you could really see, especially the first training we introduced the two-handed tackles, how it shifted. It wasn't this massive divide. It was pretty closely contested scrimmage match. And it's great seeing them, like the Blue Bottles, develop as players as well. It's nice having someone to play against that actually challenges us as a team as well. And it also, it's New South Wales team bonding cohesiveness between the two teams.
Oh, that's definitely good to hear. And I guess playing at this representative level and bringing everyone together. Has there been anyone that you found it easier to gel with that you're playing with, or has it all been kind of the same for everyone? Because because you play against everyone every single month. Like it's like has there been an issue with developing that cohesiveness?
No, I don't think it has been, because we've really all probably played with each other in some kind of capacity over fantasies, different club years, and those training camps and training days. We had extra unofficial ones run by club teams too. It was really easy to gel. Like I said, before, when you're playing with people at such high level, the gelling comes easier because you don't have to worry about simple things going wrong.
Is there anyone in particular that you're looking forward to coming up against this weekend? That's not playing for either the Blue Tongues or the Blue Bottles.
I'm really looking forward to playing against Queensland, particularly female wise. Jessica Head is amazing. I've seen her play before and I'm really excited to see what I can do there. But I think Queensland's often an underrated team, but with all the work they were doing, going to drop bears camps and training really hard, I think it'll be interesting to see how much they've grown since the last state shield.
Oh, that's definitely going to be something to keep an eye on. Like me personally, I'm a bit more familiar with Victoria than I am with Queensland, and that's just because ease of access. Like I know some of the Victorian players a little bit better. I've attended trainings down there, so it's a little bit harder to get up to Queensland, especially with flights the way they've been this year. But so I'm personally looking very much forward to seeing what the Queensland teams have to offer. At midwinter, I was playing with the Queensland players who travelled down, and getting to play with them was an absolute delight. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing if that's replicated throughout both teams. For you personally, what's one thing that you're hoping to achieve at the State Shield?
I really want to take down a few people, especially those bigger than me, with those two-hand tackles. I feel like it's something that could really up my game, and I can't wait to try it.
And just one last question. There's going to be a lot of very tough competition, but I'm guessing the Golf and Blue Tongues to win and walk away victorious.
Yep. Hat trick year. Let's go.
Well, we are definitely going to be looking forward to that. And just a reminder that this event will be streamed. Stay tuned to the Quidditch Australia socials for details of that stream. The State Shield is taking place on the 1st and 2nd of October. Bianca, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
All right, and joining us now to help preview the New South Wales Blue Tongues as well is Obel. Obel, how are you this evening?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad. Now, we spoke to Bianca just a little bit ago, and she's very excited as well. I'm guessing the excitement's the same for you for State Shield?
Yeah, it's I'm keen to get back into it. The COVID break has made, I think, certainly put an impact on Quidditch, and this will give us an opportunity to really see everyone from across the whole Quidditch spectrum. People from Victoria and Queensland I haven't seen in a while. So it'll be good. Yeah, keen.
One of the things that has been a contentious topic in the lead up to the State Shield is the introduction of the two-arm tackling. What are your thoughts on it?
Personally, I am for two-arm tackling, and I have been probably since the idea even got floated. I play AFL as well, and always think that I have more control over where the other person is going to fall. If I have two hands, it means that I'm less likely to put them in a position I think will injure them. But yeah, the broom still makes that more difficult to do because you have to decide whether the other person or the broom matters more to you. So yeah, I can see the case for it, but I'm pro two-handed tackling.
It's always the broom, right? You go to all the effort to decorate it up, you make it look all nice and pretty. You don't want to lose it. It's always. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, player safety is paramount. You were recently in Ireland with Team Australia. What was that experience like for you?
It was interesting. I've never been heckled at an international tournament before, so that's certainly a new experience for me. Every other international experience I'd had been generally upbeat and everyone was really positive. It was certainly a change to go and be the bad guy. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna thrive on that if it happens again or not. But got to take it Billie Eilish mode, I guess.
You get the opportunity to play once again with some of your Drop Bears teammates. Is having that extra experience at a representative level going to help keep that cohesion going into State Shield?
I'd like to hope so, but this is a different team and therefore it's a different dynamic. But I think I'm more comfortable with the branches of the New South Wales team anyway. These are people hang out is the wrong term, but there's people I've seen before and been around before and have been around for quite a while. So I think that we have a better rapport and therefore we play better together. And the Drop Bears experience has mostly just made me more terrified of some of the Victorians, I think.
That'll segue perfectly into the next question. Having played with the Victorians and some of your Queensland opponents this weekend as well for the State Shield, is that going to help make it easier or harder to play against them?
I don't know is the short answer. I think that there is going to be aspects certainly where I've tried to cover their weaknesses as their teammates, which I now definitely am going to try and exploit exceptionally. And I think that this new gameplay rules certainly favor my style of Quidditch more. So if anything, I'm just kind of excited to see what I can hit them with, and see if I can capitalize on some of that stuff. But again, I'm terrified of the speed that Morton's going to bring to the beating game. If he decides to beat, or if he's only seeking, then there's a lot of speed just in the Victorian beater line that we have to contend with.
I guess for you, what's going to be a personal goal this weekend for you?
So my heartfelt and I guess meaningful goal is I definitely want to strive to be the kind of vice captain that's going to build my team up and really make this a team that's cohesive enough to move forward and fulfill that role. I want everybody on the same page, everyone hyped and prepared for that. But my personal goal is to win best on ground for the whole weekend, which means I'm definitely going to be fighting my own teammates for that call out. But we'll see.
I guess
just hype them, but not too much.
Yeah, I guess being a beta, because there's going to be less competition to contend with, that might be a little bit easier for you, or it might make it harder because from what I've seen from the team list, every beta is going to be exceptional, which is why they've been selected for the state team. So I guess could be a double-edged sword for you. Is there any particular player that on the Blue Tongues that we should be keeping an eye on?
Any of our players? I think that people are going to be surprised by Martina, who's one of the chasers. I think that she has stepped up incredibly during the training camps, and her field presence is something that is worth being worried about. And Vicky, who's going to be one of the female beaters for us, is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And if she's not there this weekend, this Saturday, she'll be there Sunday, and she will be there in full force. Oh, I just think, it's going to take a minute for our debutantes to get over their nerves, but these are two women in the sport that are going to make an impact.
I'm guessing the goal for the Blue Tongues is going to be to go up and win?
Oh, always. The goal is always winning.
With the goal being to win, what do you think you can do personally to help the Blue Tongues achieve that?
I want to bring a sense of calm and control to the team. We have a lot of young, wild energy, and that has its place. But I think that coming in a little bit cooler and a little bit more level-headed will focus our team, and just basically keep everyone in line. You know, there's a time and a place for that fast break, but there's also a time and a place for structured defense and a structured attack. So that's kind of the thing I want to bring. So basically keep everyone under control.
Having trained with the Blue Bottles as well and going up against them in scrimmage matches, what's it been like having that what's it been like having that high level opposition to train against in the lead up to this tournament?
Initially, it was surprising. They brought a level of physicality that I don't think we were expecting. The first game that we played against them, particularly when we were introducing the two-handed tackling, I think we were completely taken aback. And I think that really challenged how people on the Blue Tongue saw themselves. And I'm really hoping that we're going to take that, lessons learned through to actual gameplay. But it was a challenge, and I think that's exactly what we needed.
That's definitely something that's good to hear. Obel, thank you very much for joining us to help preview the New South Wales Blue Tongues, and best of luck at State Shield.
Thank you very much. It was wonderful to be here.
And joining us now from the Blue Bottles, after we've heard from Bianca and Obel from the Blue Tongues, is Beck. Beck, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So in the lead up to this tournament, how has the preparation been for you and the Blue Bottles?
For me as a player, this year has been very much ups and downs, especially for me health-wise. So I've had a couple of different health and injury type things that have kind of stopped me from being able to get to what I think it would be my peak physical fitness. But state really motivated me to keep working at it. And I do feel like I, as an individual player, am coming into state the best that I could be. Which is a good achievement. I'm really quite proud of myself given the setbacks that I've had. And then as a team, I think, and I'm probably biased in saying this, we've done a really, really good job of coming together as a group of pretty separated people. We've got some older kind of faces and names, people that are veterans of the Bottles, with a lot of newer players, newer that tend to come from ESU, and also newer as in people like myself who have never been to a state before. And I think Nat, our coach, has done a really, really good job of kind of bringing us all up to the same levels that we can work as a team, and we all kind of have that synergy developing. And I think it's really going to make a difference for us and our performance at State Shield. Yeah.
And so I guess on that training and on that preparation, one of the more contentious topics has been the two-arm tackle that's coming in. How have you and the rest of the team found that?
Because I have had some time away from Quidditch and my fitness levels have been very much varying since the start of COVID, I was very anxious about two-arm tackling, and I still kind of am. I think it's pretty well known that State Shield tends to be a little bit more physical than any other Australian competition. It is the best players of our country coming together, and it makes sense. And you would want to see that level of physicality at this level, but it is quite daunting. As a first-timer, I am a little bit anxious, but I think the ref seminars that we've been holding, like QA have been holding, shout out to Matt for doing that, and also the preparation that I think we've been doing at trainings should be making us feel more confident. I definitely do feel more confident. Still nervous, but yeah, I think personally it will take some adjusting time, and I think that's going to continue improving and developing the further we implement it, as in next year when clubs and teams and different state tournaments and stuff like that can start using those rules. And then as a team, most of our team are smaller in terms of height. So I think the two-arm tackling, while being quite daunting for us as newer players, has been a real advantage because, you know, not all of us have a lot of mass or body or height or strength to necessarily be able to engage in those one-arm tackles really effectively. But the second arm, it really helps give you more control, and it makes you more of a weapon, especially since we are all, or at least I imagine we are, at this new level trying to come to terms with two-arm tackling. It means when someone whips one out and just gets that second arm around you, it's quite like shocking, and you think, oh crap, like I don't really know what I can do from here. So I think it's going to be a really interesting weekend watching people use it and seeing what instances people use it in. Yeah, so nerve-wracking, I think, at least for me personally, but I do think it's important that we bring it in at State Shield, and I'm excited to see what happens.
You've mentioned that this is going to be your first State Shield, and if memory serves me correctly, you're captain of the side. What's it like knowing to have that honor bestowed upon you at your first opportunity?
It is an honor, absolutely, and I'm very, very proud. As pretty much anyone that's met me knows, I'm very passionate about Quidditch. When I got a position on the board and I'm a director for Quidditch Australia, that was an honor. It felt like an unreality of sorts because I'd only been in the sport for 3 years at the time, and I'd only had 1 full year of playing. And then now to be able to captain a state team with people that I really do feel very passionately about. I think everyone's done a really, really good job, pulling their socks up and really committing themselves to training. It is an honor that comes with a little bit of pressure. I definitely want to make sure that I'm bringing my best energy to the team because I owe them that as a captain. But I think it's going to be a really great experience for all of us. I think for me, having that responsibility is really going to make sure I keep my head on straight. And I also think for the team, I hope that my energy and my enthusiasm is just going to keep us going and really keep the spirits up, which I think is going to be really important. We are a B team, but I think we're a real contender in this. And I think keeping the energy high, staying excited, keeping that passion going will really be key in getting us through this tournament. So it is an honor, it's a privilege, and I'm very, very excited to, represent my team and also have my team represent ourselves. I think it's going to be great.
I find that the use of the wording there, contender, as a B team, for you, like I guess for us watching this weekend, who are going to be some of the players that we need to keep an eye on? Who are going to help in that quest?
That's a tough question because we've got some really good up-and-comers on our team. I think I'm definitely going to be highlighting. So even though we've got some veteran players, they know who they are and they're good. But we've got some really promising new talent coming through. So who comes to mind straight away? We've got Brian Wu. He's great. I don't think he's been on a state team before. He is just such a steady force to have on field with me. I typically play ball carrier or number 2, and having him as a passing option is always so reassuring, and he's just got such a good head on his shoulders. I think he will be a real asset. Other people, we've got Luke Newbury, I think his name is, and he is just zippy, speedy, really, really good at making quick decisions. Who else do we have? I'm trying to think. We've got so many people. We've got some great beaters. Who else do we have? We've got Phoebe. Yeah, she's just really good at adapting on field, can work well with all of our beater partners. I think all of our beaters are pretty solid choices as well, given that most of them are quite new. I think they've all done a really good job of learning to work with one another. And Nat's had a real focus on making sure beater and chaser communication is on point. So it feels exciting for me to be able to recognize that the beaters are doing so well because we're working as a team. Other great new people. I'm trying to remember everyone. It's just been Chloe Kneebone. She's been great as well. Just really, I think she's got that. She's similar to Ava in some ways, where she's really good at positioning herself around hoops and knowing how to move her body, utilize her body in a way that is helpful, and not even just helpful, just smart. And when you see her move, it kind of makes you think, oh, that's an option. That's a good choice. So I think the individuals are great, and we should definitely be keeping an eye on some people. But I do think that the team that we have put together, that Nat has put together, and that we've been training together as a team will be what kind of sets us apart. We've had a massive focus as players, and then from Nat to really work on coming in, supporting each other, and bringing out the best in each other. So those are a couple of people, but honestly, you should just be watching any Bottles game. We're a force to be reckoned with. I truly do believe that.
So the TLDR is everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think it's going to be great. We've got we've got so in keeping, we've got me and Vera and Sam Feeney, and I think all three of us have a slightly different style of keeping, and each of our lines is going to bring something new to watch to the table. I wouldn't want to miss any of them. I think it's going to be a really, really good weekend.
Well, I'm definitely hoping not to miss a single second of the action. Just a couple of quick ones. You've got that mix. You mentioned that mix of veteran talent. Along with the newer players, you've got some players on the side who have been part of the Drop Best Focus squad, but you've also been training with the Blue Tongues, who are stacked with Drop Best talent. What's it been like coming together with all of them? Learning off them, going up against them, that sort of thing in training.
It's been invaluable, truly. It's game experience is essential in preparing a team for teamwork. And it's one thing to be training against your team in drills and settings like that, but being able to work as a team to come up against an opponent that is a strong opponent that, like you said, stacked with massive players that have so much skill and experience behind them has been truly invaluable. In saying that, though, we've been holding our own pretty well, and I think that's also been really important for me, at least. I know for sure, and I'm sure the rest of the team agrees to some extent. Really a good way of helping us feel prepared and confident in ourselves coming into State Shield. I think the fact that we are able to compete against the Blue Tongues and really put up a good fight, like some of our training games, we were able to get the upper hand at some stages. That's really motivating, and it really is a testament to our efforts. And I think having another team to train against has been so crucial to the team becoming what it is and what it will be over the weekend.
What's going to be a personal goal for you at the State Shield?
I want to make sure I walk away from day 2 feeling proud. That's always my main goal. I want to feel proud of myself and proud of the work that our team has put in. I want to know we played our best.
And then just to wrap it up, you already mentioned that I guess the team goal is going to be to win. What's going to be in your words, what do you think is going to be the goal of the team?
Probably the same thing, but that's biased because I'm captain, I think. I would really like it if our team, who is comprised of a lot of newbies to State Shield, can walk away feeling better than they were when they were initially picked, feeling more confident in themselves and their abilities, and having a renewed passion for the sport. Like, it's such a fun sport, and this is one of the highest levels of Quidditch some of us will be able to do for a couple of years. So I want to make sure that they can get the most out of this experience, and I would love for us as a team to walk away proud, excited, and confident in ourselves. We're great players and we deserve to be here. So I think if we walked away with that in mind, it would have been a successful weekend, in my opinion.
That is a fantastic answer, Beck. Best of luck on the weekend, and I can't wait to see you in action.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you there.